There's an operation in here where it's a snip. When I woke up this morning, she was gone.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Time to visit our best friend Ed again. He's a man of many nicknames, but many of you know him as No Neck Ed. And while his adventures in paradise with his soon-to-be wife are coming to an end, keep watching to see what happens to him at the end here, because things get kind of dark, not gonna lie. Ed is about to reveal something very big to Rose, and it is not gonna be pretty. Without further ado, let's check in with them and see how things are going.
I want to swim in the pool. I don't really like swimming in the ocean. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Less sand.
So Ed here is about to go on a dip in the swimming pool, aka the scene of his most romantic date with Rose so far. If you missed that amazing date, it's on my last video that I made on him. It's the last video on my channel. Go check it out for context. But yeah, I mean, this was a good play by him. He's taking her somewhere calm and nice, and then he's gonna drop a bombshell on her and admit to her that he doesn't want kids, and in fact is going to get a surgery so that he can't ever have the possibility of having kids in the future. Plus, he doesn't want sand in his crevices, and I mean, that was just a smart play for someone like Ed. No one likes sand crack.
I feel 100% sure that Rose had nothing to do with her sister wanting money from me.
So thankfully, we have moved on from that situation in the last video. Ed was really thinking that Rose's sister was in this massive plan with her to drain him of all of his money, but turns out she was just asking for money alone without Rose's input, and Rose really did not have anything to do with it. Sadly, they couldn't just end there though. Instead, you know, he's got to be interrogating her or bringing up really important stuff that doesn't need to be talked about at that time. But he's now going to pull her away for another annoying conversation where he has something important to say. You guys already know that that's how Ed operates. He is really bad at telling it like it is, and especially when it's bad news, he just gets way worse. Yo guys, before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. That's behind them, and they can now play in the pool like two kids. I mean, these two really just look like they're having the time of their lives here. The person you should really feel bad for, though, in this situation is this cameraman. He's probably getting paid, you know, not the greatest pay. I mean, how much do TLC camera operators make? I'm sure it's a good living, but nothing insane. Just to be sitting in this warm weather filming this cringe ball 24/7. Plus, man's had to go underwater for that shot right there in order to get this cool diving footage. It was really not needed, but he is out here doing the most for this show, so props for him. Really though, he's kind of wilding with this footage. I mean, it looks like a DJ Khaled music video right now. Like, please dude, chill out with these close-up shots. This camera is a little bit too HD, you know. For once, I was really wishing that this video was pixelated. And really not to fat shame, because I'm a big boy myself, but the funniest shot is at the end here when they are embracing and it looks pretty normal above the surface, but then the camera guy goes underwater and Ed is literally 4 times her body size. What a match made in heaven.
I don't want more kids, but she does. I didn't tell her sooner because I didn't want to lose her.
So yeah, that is the big news bombshell that Ed is about to drop on Rose. She is really wanting to start a family with him once they go back to America, and she was hoping that he was on the same page. She assumed that he is because they've talked about this before, and he's been, you know, kind of open to the idea of them starting a family. But at his age, he's kind of over the idea of having kids apparently, and has some of his own from the past marriage that he has cheated his way out of. So he's over that lifestyle of, you know, needing to raise a kid. Let's see how Rose is able to handle this information. I'm really guessing it won't be pretty.
I like the view.
You do?
Yes.
You're my best view.
Yeah.
I mean
You're
it.
so sweet.
Thankfully, before he drops this crazy info on her, we get some footage of how to truly flirt with a woman. Guys, take notes. I hope you have your notebooks out right now, because these responses from Rose are just so complete. You can tell that she's so in love with him. But really, she still does not act very well at all when it comes to, you know, being enamored by him when he's flirting. I realize that was a cringy pickup line, basically, but that response is very telling of how she feels about this dude. To be honest, this whole thing that he's about to tell her might be the final nail in the coffin that she needed to leave him or break up with him at least. I'm guessing that's how this is gonna play out.
I've raised a daughter. You know, she's 29, and it was a wonderful experience. But having more kids is not something that I want.
First things first, I'm actually surprised right now. Ed is being composed, and he's really giving her the information clearly. He's not beating around the bush like I was expecting him to. To be honest, I totally see where he's coming from. Many people don't want the burden of being a parent at all, and he's been through it already. He can check that off of his life experience checklist and just be done with it. But now he's in his 50s, I believe, and I doubt he is wanting to restart that process all over again. Look, it's expensive and difficult to raise a child, so I totally see where he's coming from. Plus, she already has this kid, so that's gonna be enough for him, you know, raising raising that kid basically now. And just wanted to throw that out there since I feel like I really go in on Ed sometimes and never quite side with him, but I can see that his statements here are valid. He really just does not want to have to raise another kid besides the one that she already has right now, but it's kind of whack he waited till now to tell her.
Before I came to see you in the Philippines, I had scheduled 2 appointments to have an operation.
Like I said earlier, Ed is really serious about this. He went in and got an appointment for this operation before he even flew out here, so he's all on board with cutting off all possibilities of him ever being a father again. It's a big move, but I mean, a lot of older men get this because at some point you get to an age where it would really just be kind of dangerous and flippant to raise a child. Like, who's in their 50s trying to raise a kid? You're just not gonna have a good time, you know? Also, I know some of you don't know what this operation is exactly, so I'll just let Ed explain, since he is so good at explaining things clearly.
There's an operation in here where it's a snip.
So yeah, he's just gonna have a snip and call it good. Sadly, Rose's face in reaction to this explanation is far from good right now, so let's see how she handles this. She might not be able to take this information in since she was really hoping to start a family with Ed, or at least she says so. So let's see if her reaction is true.
Why you not tell me last night?
I didn't know how.
Here's the most messed up thing. It's very clear that Rose is a young woman who has goals and things she wants to do with her life. And you know for sure during the countless conversations they've had before he flew down here to meet her that she probably brought up the fact that she wants kids very badly. And instead, Ed just let her believe that he was down for that so he could go down there and get with her. I mean, talk about a scummy move. Like, he should have been honest from the jump instead of getting her in a position where she is already in love with him and expecting this stuff to happen, only to be told that it's not going to happen. Also, this is another indicator of how badly these two will work out if they continue this relationship. They're in 2 different chapters of their life and live thousands of miles away from each other. Just call it a day and split up already, yo. Like, this woman has goals that you cannot help her with, Ed, and you have clearly different visions for this relationship than she has. Don't ruin her whole potential. She's 23. Just break up.
Rose, I'm telling you now, I don't want more kids. I want to be able to give you the best life I can with what I have. I'm not rich.
So Ed is really standing up for himself here and telling her like it is, and her reaction does kind of point something out to me that I wanted to note. If she was truly only in it for the money or a green card like most of us have thought throughout this entire time, she would not be reacting this strongly. I mean, think about it. If she really was like that, she would just be able to look past this whole thing and not have a kid and move on. But since she's so sad about it, that makes me think that she was really wanting to settle down and start a family with this man for one reason or another. This is kind of heartbreaking right now, bro. Like, her dreams are getting crushed after she was led to believe that they were possible.
Do you still love me?
Here once again is a shining example of Ed and his true intentions. This man only cares about himself and is very selfish throughout this whole video. Notice how after dropping this information that really hurt her feelings, he doesn't ask how she's feeling or if she's okay. Instead, he just instantly goes to, "Do you still love me?" Like, how vain can you be, bro? Your girl is over here having her dreams crushed by you, and you have the audacity to ask if she still loves you without caring about her emotions first? Come on, Ed, you're better than that.
Last night, I finally revealed to Rose that I want to have a vasectomy and I don't want any more kids. And when I woke up this morning, she was gone.
Yep, that's right. After Ed tells her this news and breaks her heart, Rose decides to dip on him and go do some thinking of her own on if she even wants to continue talking to him. Talk about a roller coaster of events, dude. I feel like Ed has been fighting for her so hard this whole trip, finally got her to actually love him, and then he screwed it up by exposing that he hid a very big piece of his life from her. That's about the most Ed thing he could possibly do, and I seriously love how much this man can do to ruin his own chances at happiness. It's almost miraculous at this point. So Ed goes hunting for Rose around the resort in his 4XL shirt that's about 5 feet too long on him, and he's scared that he might have screwed up for good at this point. I mean, honestly, I think he did, since she isn't even responding to his text. Like, at least say, "Hey, I'm good, I'm fine, I just need some time away." But nah, she's straight up ghosting the boy right now, and I gotta say, this is well deserved. You don't let someone think that they're going to have big life-altering events in their relationship with you, and then tell them that you were lying the whole time. I mean, you should have been honest from the get-go, since you've known that you were gonna get this snip for a long time, Ed. I think that's the major hurdle that I have in this video. Like, it's totally fine and valid for him to not want kids, but he needs to understand that she has a very different goal. Relationship's not gonna work if they're differing on this, and he kind of hid this fact from her until he had her in the palm of his hands, and that's a really whack move if you ask me. So as Ed sits alone in this beachfront restaurant chair, pondering what might be his last day in paradise, the future is honestly a big unknown for these two. I don't think Rose is personally going to hit him back unless the show producers somehow convince her, because after this, I think she really has no reason to stay with him. The one thing he could offer her was this family and support, but he gave her neither of those, and instead he's just sitting here kind of clueless on why she left him. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments if they will last. I don't think they will. This has been quite the emotional roller coaster, and I kind of don't want it to stop, but I think it will at this point. Thanks for the support on this last video, by the way. I'm glad you guys liked it so much, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.